Hey everybody, it's Geek Nonsense now. How you guys doing?
Excellent. I took my headset off and held it up over my head this time so I wouldn't make any sounds.
I'm so proud of you. You've managed to do what a child could do.
Thank you. I am proud of my accomplishments.
As you should be.
Anyway,
Is Sean okay?
Yeah, he just had a breakneck car chase.
Yeah, somebody was trying to. Somebody walked outside my house. That's what that happened.
Oh.
Yeah,
And Leah was like, "Get out of here!"
my alarm system is very efficient.
Get off my lawn, you kids!
He's
It's
in
really
the
nice.
city. He doesn't
My
have a
alarm
lawn.
system actually extends out
Off my
into
pavement.
the street.
And sometimes it'll attack innocent people sitting at your dining room table.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really funny when it does happen.
It is really funny.
That's you.
Oh,
Mutants. That's what we're talking about today. I figured it fit in with what we were kind of talking about last week. So we were talking about a bunch of different superpowers, and we barely got through any of them. And I was like, there's a... And mutants doesn't have to be superpowers either. Like, that's another reason why I like it. It's because, like, a lot of this...
my first thought was, like, sewer mutants.
Yeah, exactly. Teenage
Yeah,
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Is that Swamp Thing on the picture you used?
Yeah. I used Swamp Thing, the X-Men, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's been a while since I heard that one. Swamp.
So when I mentioned to Katie that we're talking about mutants tonight, she said, "Oh, like Spider-Man." Well,
Kind of.
I mean, I guess, like, by the
Someone else
literal...
said Hulk. I was like, it's interesting to debate, like, did you mutate based on, like
Hulk Hogan?
Obviously.
Yeah, brother.
What if there is there another Hulk?
He has the skin of a hot dog.
Is there another Hulk?
That's
Could
a
be
mutation.
considered a mutant?
Ooh,
I don't think there is. I can't. Oh, the Incredible Hulk. Well, okay. When you bring up the Incredible Hulk, I think to myself, gamma radiation mutating his cells, and then I think, okay,
when
that
you
could be
say Incredible Hulk, I still think Hulk Hogan.
I kind of do too sometimes.
Get with the times.
No, brother.
It's Mark Ruffalo. What? No. And then when you think about that,
Isn't he that really starstruck guy?
If you were just to put Mark Ruffalo next to Hulk Hogan and to say which one of these
yes, would you call Hulk?
is a Hulk? Well, I'd call that guy brother, and then hey, how's it going, brother? Oh yeah, brother.
And put a really disturbing sex tape on the
Macho
internet.
Man Randy Savage.
Well, that's how I talk to everyone.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Hey, look, there's
Hey, you kind of have like the Macho Man like hair. I like it.
I don't know. I didn't watch wrestling, so I don't know any of those references.
I'm probably
really.
completely wrong about all of this.
I didn't watch
I know
much.
that Hulk Hogan's a person, and
my mom didn't let me watch wrestling, so it's too violent. So she let me play hockey instead.
I saw something that said today was the 25th anniversary of Stone Cold Steve Austin's first match as Stone Cold.
what was he matching as before that?
No, I mean
Mildly warm.
Stone warm, rock warm, Steve Austin. That's just not there.
It's got a nice ring to it, sir.
We've already got the rock.
They like try out
know
different
what you're
personas until one fits.
Well, I'm just curious. What were his other personas?
I don't know.
Lukewarm.
Maybe before that he's like, I'm Steve San Antonio, and I'm here to.
I'm mildly mannered Andrew.
It's like it's a different.
Leave me out of that.
I'm Tim Norfolk.
That's a country musician.
I just don't sound as threatening as Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, people take you seriously. Lighting his candle.
I like to smell like gingerbread.
Okay.
I like the smell of gingerbread.
Speaking of mutants.
So, mutants. Question. What constitutes mutant? What's the difference between mutant and superhero?
Well, okay, first, that was excellent. I don't know.
It doesn't. There doesn't necessarily have to be an either or.
I think it has to be some kind of physical change, right? If you are born with like you would not
What
say.
about telepathy? What about Professor X? That was a
You would
mutant.
not say Superman is a mutant. He was.
No, I wouldn't.
He was
Okay.
born with those powers.
Okay, so even a change like on a DNA level. Okay.
But the
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were adjusted by radioactive goo or whatever. Like that is a chemical change
That
in their
mutated them.
physical composition.
Yeah. But you can still be a superhero and a mutant.
Yeah, you can be both. I'm just saying, like,
But not every superhero is a mutant. No.
right, and not every mutant is a superhero.
Correct.
Some are super villains.
Glad we made that.
Yep.
Some are just kids that can
got
change the
there.
channel by blinking.
Okay, that's amazing.
There was the one kid who stuck out his tongue and it was just like, whoop. It's like, oh, yeah, some people just have.
Wait,
You, you can't necessarily be a superhero just like if you've got a mutated tongue.
Well,
otherwise,
what makes a superhero?
Depends on how mutated the tongue is. Can it come out of your like Toad?
I'm not talking about Toad.
I'm just
talking about Fort Tongue Boy.
Yeah.
there's a reason why Ukraine is not a global superpower.
Tell us more.
There's
They're
radiation,
Tell us less.
mutations, not superpowers.
Oh my god.
Just saying.
There's a reason the Native Americans aren't a superpower.
That's a Chernobyl joke for you.
Horrifying.
Horrifying
Genocide.
mass death.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, that'll do it. Well, what about Wanda Maximoff? She's from like a fake Ukraine. If she were to come from a real
Okay, but
country,
she
I'm pretty
didn't-
sure it would be Ukraine.
That's
That's
That's-
just the
Sokovia
closest they could
means
come up to
Ukraine.
it.
Ukraine or Russia? I thought she was Russian.
I thought they were
Isn't
Bosnian.
Ukraine like a failed Russian state or something like
No,
that? Or
Ukraine is a neighbor to Russia.
that gets constantly destroyed by Russia?
Chris, would you say
You
Ireland
can't just
is
describe
kind
it
of
as.
like in England?
Would I say what?
Would you say Ireland is kind of like in England?
Don't
I
say
mean,
that.
yes, depending on what the
Don't.
scale is.
Don't say that.
I'm
I
just
can
saying.
say whatever I want. Yes, if you were to say, is Ukraine is to Russia as Ireland is to England, maybe. Or like
Maybe.
that's closer than like Ireland is to China. Yes, then I would say the first scenario that I gave you. Ukraine's literally close to Russia,
Yes.
and constantly
I
beaten
mean,
up by
China's
them.
also touching Russia.
Well
so
done.
like,
That sounds a lot like England and Ireland's relationship. And they're all white. There's just so many
horrible thing to
similarities.
have a really bad big pause after
Cool.
that.
Well, so,
Why? What's wrong with being white? Are you
my-
assimilating white?
I don't like that conversation, so I'm going to ignore it.
You should have just said yes. That's the safest thing you can say.
moving on.
Of course I am.
Let's-
What is the best way? What is the best way to become a mutant?
Toxic waste.
Well, like some of them are born with it. There's like the X gene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mutated gene, and sometimes evolution jumps
Let's say,
forward.
like-
They were-
Well, I have to say that would be my way of choice rather than having a vat of something spilled on me
I don't know. It depends if it's a vat of molasses,
or
it'll
landing
kill me.
in a vat.
Ooh, damn.
Ooh. If that's the case, would the Joker from Batman be a mutant?
It depends on which
I don't think
Joker.
so.
There's a bunch of different versions of the
Yeah,
Joker.
I mean standard
Let's
baseline
make
Joker.
the
No,
argument that the chemicals or whatever made him more resilient or had some kind of healing factor, which is why he gets the crap beaten out of him every time and still comes back.
Well, that version of the Joker,
Just saying.
maybe. But there's like the basic.
baseline Joker is just some crazy dude.
Well, yeah, like the worst day ever can drove him insane. Well, that's actually what they were trying to prove in The Killing Joke, which is just another different version of the Joker. I think originally the Joker was a guy who was like, well, we got a guy in a bat costume, so
Let's put a guy in a clown costume.
Yeah.
What's next?
Amazing.
Porpoise.
It's amazing how many decisions were made by just wardrobes they had around the studio.
I think it was a comic first.
They're like, what?
Okay, whatever wardrobes they had around in the comic studio.
I don't.
They're like, what do we have? We've got
Everyone
like.
knows you draw comics
All
naked.
right, let's do that.
Yeah. Why do you think Stan Lee became so popular?
Did the Hulk have a giant green dong? Your friend's a little bit too concerned with superhero anatomy.
That's probably my favorite cameo of his. Like even including the Marvel movies, I think I don't know when he was confused with Hugh Hefner, that was pretty good. But I like the Mallrats one.
It was
so
good.
If you could, what kind of mutant would you prefer to be then? Like X-Men or Super Mutant?
Well, there's still like with the X-Men, you could be anything. That's the thing with mutation is you could go anywhere with it. That's just a way that they've like. How did you get your powers? There's mutation. There's like being born with it or being an alien, like Superman is. There's like magic. Oh, it's magic. And there's super. I didn't say he was. I just said you could be born with it or an alien like Superman is. I was literally listing things other than mutants.
Okay, please continue.
Why? You're just going to say they're not mutants.
Oh, no. Here's a good question then.
I know.
Based on Star Wars incorporation of midichlorians, are Jedi mutants?
No.
He says very aggressively.
Sean, I don't think we've ever fought each other before, but we will.
This is why. This is where.
This is gonna be it.
He asked you. He asked you a question.
Okay, when Sean asks a question, he has a decision made. You know that. He has an opinion.
I know what
the answer is.
To anger you.
No,
you need to defend it. You need to defend why they're not.
Andrew, why aren't Jedi mutants?
Yeah, because it sounds like they could be. I could play devil's advocate on this.
They're not okay. They're not affected by the. Okay. Anakin, maybe, but the others weren't conceived. They're not created by the midichlorians. They just interact with them. It's what, according to
develop a mutation, just like you can develop interactions with midichlorians. Am I right or wrong?
Like the X gene in it, you know.
Oh shit.
Yeah, okay. I don't like the idea that being force sensitive means mutation, but son of a bitch.
I don't either.
Because it's not specific to any one species or race. So you're going to have the same kind of mutation across
maybe it's
the galaxy.
Neither is cancer. Cancer is technically a mutation, and that is across multiple species. Every species has cancer.
Well, that doesn't...
Really? That's like
it's a disease.
It could be a disease. Damn it.
But it's also... it doesn't do anything.
You can't catch cancer. Cancer has to be inside you by a replication. It's an over-replication of cells.
Right.
So if you're saying that force sensitive is something in the cells interacting, that sounds very similar to me as somebody who is not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form.
Talking about something that's not real.
Oh, I just fundamentally blew your mind about Star Wars, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm
gonna realize I had very strong feelings, but
I think they've established that while it can pass through bloodlines and family stuff, it's not.
It's not a direct.
It's not like genetic necessarily. No. It's more of like it's the up to the universe. Now, that's like saying
it's seemingly random throughout the universe.
The universe decided that you should have good cancer. We're calling it the Force. In fact, I don't know why I said cancer at all.
The midichlorians find that midichlorians as the Force exist within all beings everywhere within the Star Wars universe, but it also exists on its own as its own entity. So there are specific human beings specific beings within which it exists in a way that allows them to interact with it as it exists on its own outside of other beings.
That's like some people are better at basketball than other people.
Yeah, so if it
Some
exists
people are better
in
with the
all
force
people, is it a mutation or is it just I am, stronger? I'm taller. I'm faster since it exists in all beings.
That's genetics.
Yeah. Which occurs because of mutation. Son of a bitch.
Oh, this feels good. This feels nice.
But then everything's a mutation. Then we're all just mutants. Then there's no.
I'm saying,
well, then okay. I get it. I get that. I already get that. Stop. But we're talking about like a drastic change mutant, right? Like something that sets you apart. Is that what we're talking about? Or are we just like, well, if we're just like everyone's a mutant, we can just let's stop the stream right now and be like,
the argument.
And then also we have to go back and to correct Sean. That means that Superman is a mutant if everyone's a mutant. So shut up. You just got bitten by your own sword, or whatever a good
sword bite
there would have been.
Sword bite.
Sword.
You've been hoisted by your own petard, my friend.
You've bitten your own sword.
Yeah.
Just like your dogs.
As soon as I was like, if everyone's a mutant, no one's a mutant. Or if no one's a mutant, then it's that whole.
Yeah, okay, so
if everyone's super, then no one's super.
But for the sake of
Are the Incredibles
to Star Wars.
This is me over here stirring that pot.
It's so stirred right now. There's a whirlpool.
I'm gonna pour hot cheese on you.
It's a maelstrom, this soup. And it's a chowder. You don't want a maelstrom of it's a thick, heavy whirlwind of
when you're talking about stirring a pot, I think of like what is it where you put cheese on a stick or like something on a stick and you dip it in the fondue?
And just threw it into the conversation for you guys.
Fondue.
Fryman, fill your eyes with double vision. My eyes!
Yeah, touch the sky!
Those aren't the words,
I can't see straight. What have you done to me?
So, geez.
I never watched that.
It's okay.
Okay. All right, so let's.
I'll show you whatever you need to know.
Let's take a mutant and talk about it.
Let's pick a mutant and talk about it.
Yoda.
How dare you assume that mutant's lack of gender?
Because I did not want to assume that we would be talking about him or her.
How dare you make that assumption?
Gender positive.
Sklur.
Glim.
Glar. Oh my gosh, yeah. That was a good one. But what one mutant?
One?
Well, I like
we have to pick one.
We were talking about earlier, like physical versus like not physical, and that was interesting because like Professor X, you would assume just by looking at him
he's a mutant.
This is a guy that's
he has the superpower of paralysis.
He got paralyzed. But obviously these are physical powers.
To roll.
They're just the three dumbest people in the world.
Yeah.
We are pretty bad.
Yeah.
And they're furious at each other.
Oh, that more than anything. Okay, so I think a physical mutation, I don't know, if you wanted to go live a regular life, of course you'd prefer the Professor X, but like if you're going to really embrace a mutation, why not something like Sabretooth, You're larger, you're broader, you got those weird kind of cat nails.
I mean, if it's up to me, though, I'd have one where you could just change back and forth. Like, there's so many of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you
can look like an old person, and like Colossus,
Anna Frost.
Colossus can just Colossus is awesome.
I love Colossus.
We know you do, comrade.
Yeah,
it's good because Deadpool's my favorite. Well, hey, if you make your favorite the time traveling dude Cable, then we got ourselves an all-star team.
Yeah, I'm not a big Cable guy. I'm sorry. Like I like him in Marvel vs. Capcom. Like that's.
Did you see the Deadpool 2?
Oh yeah, I did.
Did you like him in that?
I like Cable. He's not my favorite.
I'm just saying, if we need to, well, then who would you be? We've picked our mutants so far. I'll let you guys.
Wait. I'm just saying how good Colossus was. I'm not saying I want to be him.
No, it's too late. You're Colossus. Oh, Magneto. Ha! Suck it, Colossus.
Magneto.
Only because he's Colossus.
You're really old.
That's not. He doesn't age. That's not part of it.
Oh, he does. Actually, though, if you look at if you look at the most recent X-Men movies and their timelines and how they cycle all the time, it's like, what? He was alive in the 40s looking like that, and now he's in the 1990s looking like that, and then 10 years later, apparently, he looks like Ian McKellen. What happened? What happened to you?
In 10 years, you went
Obi-Wan on Tatooine. At least Tatooine has 2 sons. That makes sense. That's doubling your years, essentially.
Yeah. Oh.
Could it possibly be too much iron in the blood?
That's what he actually used that exact line in X-Men 2 when he was escaping from jail.
Oh my
because
God, we did.
Mystique put the liquid metal into iron.
Supplements. There we go.
Too much iron in your blood, and then he rips it out of that guy's chest and uses it to escape.
Which was one of the coolest escape scenes.
He didn't then put it into his own blood, which might have actually helped him escape sooner if he had already. But then they probably tested him for that sort of thing and kept him on a strict diet of plastic.
Yeah, I mean they had that that's
human beings in their gardens.
You know what? It's Christmas. Let's get him a ball pit for dinner.
You can still chase the child. Oh my God, I'm a villain. You're more of an anti-hero. I mean, you've got just cause for the things you're doing. You just take it too far. We'll talk about the taste of children's ball pits. Magneto.
So, question. You may know the answer, Chris. Sean, you might too. Probably
I wouldn't know the answer.
You'll know once I ask it. Mystique, okay. When she uses her, okay, so let's say I don't know how tall or whatever. Let's say she's 5'8".
Determine her breast size.
In the comics,
how does she gain weight? How does she do that? How does she create the mass? Because then when somebody touches it, it's real. It's there.
Now we're getting into let's break down the science of how these things do what they do. And that's probably not something that we should do.
No,
maybe that's her real superpower, is the ability to control her metabolism at will.
I'm sure that's not the only.
I don't think it's a metabolism thing.
And you just have to
floating
to be a fat guy.
Different colors and clothes too, like
that, which is bitchin'. But all right, fine. We'll talk about that another day.
Well, it's just,
we should get a scientist for it. Do we know any scientists?
Well, you could talk about the things like that's how they did it in Animorphs when they shifted into smaller bodies. Where did the excess mass go, or where did the excess mass come from? When it went into Z space, zero space, alternate reality space, and they're like, there's even one point where they talk about how the aliens travel through Z space. That's their faster than light travel. And at one point, one of the humans goes, "What happens if they hit our mass in Z space?" And the alien goes, "Well, the odds of that happening are astronomical." And they're like, "But it could happen." He's like, "Well, I guess technically, yes." And then one time there's a whole episode about that happening when they turn into mosquitoes and they get transported to Z space because their mass is so low and then they get picked up by a ship, and they're like, the odds of this happening. And then the Illuminist comes into play because he's a galactic chest.
Okay, yeah.
I did reread the entire series again.
It sounds like you did. It sounds like
available.
Yeah, I don't.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
That's good lore, baby.
It really is. God, it's such a rich universe.
Especially for a kid. When you're 12 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And when you don't have an internet, you have a book fair. And every different book
that was
fair,
the best book.
There's a new Animorphs, dude. Oh, shut up and take my money.
Uh-huh. Every time. Sean, you really got to read them.
I know.
Shut up and take my money.
There it is.
Did you just say I'm never going to?
I've realized I do this thing where people tell me to watch stuff, and I say I'm going to put it on my watch list. I don't have a watch list.
Well, yeah, I say that to get people to stop telling me to. I'm like, I'll get to it.
Sometimes I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out. And then other times I know full well.
You both have said that exact thing to me, like, "Oh, I'll put it on my watch list, or my list of things to watch."
I have to put that on the watch list. And then,
I've got to go rewatch The Simpsons again. There's 30 seasons, so that takes a while. So I'll get to it when I have time.
You sons of bitches.
Thank you. I'm going to tell my mom you said that.
No, not her.
Recorded proof. Where did you think that came from?
No.
You call my dad a bitch?
Whoa. Let's not get crazy here. That's not something to joke about.
Somebody cut the hard line. We got to get rid of this evidence.
God.
Speaking of the Incredible Hulk.
You could delete things. Oh, yeah, just through it. Like the Kool-Aid Man, but he's furious.
That was an interesting... and also, speaking of being able to change back and forth, like I was like, you know what I would want? I'd want to be able to change back into a normal thing. But that's kind of the really cool thing about the Hulk is that Jekyll and Hyde, him not being able to control it at times, as part of that thing, it's like, hey, you could turn into this amazing thing. He sees it as a curse. Like, that's a lot of the thing. I see that in a lot of the mutants more than in other superhero stories, is that they view their gifts, whatever they are, as a curse. Like Angel at the beginning of X-Men 3.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
not a good movie overall, but that opening scene where he's cutting off his wings because his dad is like an anti-mutant person, dude, that hit so hard. For anyone that's ever, been afraid to disappoint their parents and had something they're hiding and something like that. Oh my gosh, what a!
It really, and you're right. It doesn't. You don't see that in another superhero. It's pretty specific to mutants.
When Bobby went home to
wasn't that the
Iceman? Yeah, when he went home to his parents' house, that was in the second movie. They were taking refuge there. His parents didn't even know, and a lot of their parents don't know. The reason that they're at Xavier School is because they're actually mutants. They just think it's like, oh, you got a scholarship to this private school, kind of like what Tony Stark does with Spider-Man in the MCU, but that's what Professor X is doing on a larger scale because he knows that these people are persecuted and he's trying to help them.
One's one's an internship. I think the internship is probably better for the resume. I'm not gonna lie.
He's got a Blackbird advanced military equipment and stuff. So
like an internship, good for the resume. But
did you see all the cars that Cyclops had in that garage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You get to indulge a little bit.
Yeah, I want to know.
There's a little bit of fraud that you get to commit.
He's psychic. He's not. Yes, no matter what, I will make sure I always do the absolute most honorable thing. Like, he likes to give a wink and a nod, like, haha.
I want to see Professor Xavier's tax returns because I want to know where that money's coming from.
He'll never remember it. He don't even remember investigating.
I'm just saying,
he'll leave there going, that's the best tax returns I've ever seen.
Running a bunch of illegal sweatshops in Thailand or something.
And you'd never know.
Why would he need sweatshops?
If a culture works in a sweatshop, but no one can remember it, is it a tragedy?
That's what I'm saying.
A question
how disappointing would it be? How disappointing
for the American public?
The answer is still yes.
No, I'm saying, how disappointing would it be to find out that Professor X's money all comes from he owns a nuclear power.
No, it's family money. It's his parents did the horrible things.
Okay, what did his parents do?
Who cares? He's his own person, all right?
You know what the capital gains tax is?
First of all, he's British.
Also, no, I don't know what the capital gains tax is at all.
Lord. He had tons of family money, and he went to Harvard.
Yeah, and the inheritance tax takes a bunch of it.
He's British.
Okay, that's double taxation, but whatever.
He's British. I'm pretty sure they don't do that.
Oh, they don't.
That's why they have lords and shit. And our excuse is we're not going to do that, but then we just have billionaires. So
it blows the idea that when somebody dies and oh, here's my money, and the government, okay, well, we're going to tax that. You already did. You already did when they got it originally, but whatever.
I don't care.
It's fine. But no, Stan Lee originally made.
So his parents died before all those
created the mutants.
Sorry. I had to get that in. I just remember. It's important.
Unfortunately, Bruce Wayne's parents didn't. They were taxed to hell.
It's too bad he wasn't a mutant.
Yeah. Oh God, it would have been great.
An actual Batman, as it
were. He was susceptible to taxes. No.
If only my mutation didn't need to be taxed.
My weakness, the IRS.
That's actually his kryptonite.
Yeah, what's your mutation? I'm American.
I mean, the guy that figured out he was doing that in the second movie of Nolan's trilogy was literally the guy who was go over our financials. And he's like, well, I did. And you're diverting tons of money into research and development. And I've seen...
You made a Batmobile!
Our Batmobile, this thing we have schematics for, our secret project, is on TV.
Also, there he is in the Batman costume going, I'm Batman.
See, if you're a mutant, you don't need a supercar or any gadgets. You just like Hulk out and go kill people. And then you're like, no, why did I do that? No. See,
that man can disappear every time he talks to James Gordon, but he can't disappear from his accountant.
You may be able to run from the law, that man. What? You can't run from your taxes.
Why did you list metal?
And here we go.
The IRS lead investigator.
Why did you list metal batarangs as a business expense?
Because the plastic ones were just for business cards.
Bruce,
they wouldn't fit in wallets.
Bruce, I'm a little concerned about this home improvement line for $1 billion when nothing's been done to your home. Like,
it's in the basement. Wink. Why did you just exaggeratedly wink at me? Don't touch the piano.
Hey, Bruce, I've got a stack of invoices here from a construction company for something called a Batcave.
You just give that person $1 million.
Yeah, do you think Bruce Wayne's
he's a billionaire? You just don't care.
You think he's going to like Home Depot and he's just like, oh, okay, well, need some more PVC. Yeah.
Trapahar.
We're doing it.
What the fuck?
We're doing this. Who wants to get in my Batmobile? We're gonna go build me a new basement.
So, Trapahar.
See, Mr. Batman.
Okay.
Where are we going? Into the night.
And Batman's like, I hope they never get that wall put up.
Ooh, Batman.
At least now we know how the Batcave got built.
I don't know. I feel like it'd pay him a living wage.
Well, it makes more sense than like just him and Alfred spelunking into the basement, and then there's a Batcave. Weeks later, no, because like the next time you see it, there's like technology coming up from the floor. Like,
yeah, you're right. There's a big old platform.
What happened to the contractors?
Who installed those hydraulics? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, the same thing. It's the same thing that happened to the contractors who were working on that Death Star.
Well, no, they got blown up by the Rebel
Alliance. Sure, no. What the plan was for them if they weren't blown up by the Rebel Alliance.
The Empire just enslaved everyone. Batman's fighting against a larger group of... The Empire just do what they want because they're the Empire. Hey, we'll just enslave this planet and have them build this for us, and then enslave that planet, have them build that part for us.
Maybe Batman's a giant hypocrite. Maybe he's...
on a certain level, of course he is.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
He talks about helping the city. He's like, who can
help the city? We have to be legitimate.
Okay, you are chasing you. How about you fund the police with your billions of dollars?
Jim.
Batman, why don't you give this to the police? He's like, in the wrong hands, it's a weapon. It's like, well, you consider everyone's hands other than yours the wrong hands.
Jim, we have to make
deep psychosis. I don't think you're the right hands.
Jim, we have to protect the police. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Like,
he just keeps saying that he's Batman.
What happened? I'm pretty sure that's a Make-A-Wish kid that showed up and survived, and now we can't tell him he's not a cop.
I like also in the first.
Okay, so maybe Ichabod Crane's got a point.
End of the first Batman. He's like, Jim Gordon's like, what about escalation? And Batman's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
No, he's like, it's like they're using knives, we start using guns. We buy body armor, they start using armor piercing rounds. And now you're a guy in a mask. And it's like, here's the thing. You're afraid
is Jim Gordon actually a Kennedy? We're gonna buy the mask.
I love his accent, and I would prefer for you to ignore Sean and continue because I liked where you were going.
I'm done with it. I'm not even going to finish. I said, fuck it.
See what you did, Sean.
Ask what you can do for Batman. Oh, Chris is mad at me now.
No, I'm not.
He says in the angriest voice possible.
Oh. I don't give a shit. I'll just talk about mutants now, I guess.
Oh yeah, mutants.
Dumbasses.
Okay, what's our take on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Payback is a bitch. Payback. Payback is a bitch. Payback. Payback is a bitch.
I'm for them.
Well, that's good. They're not.
You think you're hot in a champagne glass, but you're really cold diarrhea in a Dixie cup.
Called you diarrhea. Nah. You need your own sound effect, Sean. You need your own.
It's the only way anyone can possibly fight back.
Just pull up a little GIF on your phone or hold it up to your camera. That's.
I was like, I don't know why I was fighting fair just now.
My guns.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Never fight fair. Fight fair and you die.
I always felt like the Teenage
Kick him in the
Mutant-
crotch and run.
I always thought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles enemy being named Shredder was such like a 90s comic book, like a 90s skateboard villain name.
I just thought it was going to be hard for it. I was like, just go into your shell.
Oh, I'm Shredder.
And then you wouldn't be able to.
They have a soft underbelly, and he has hands to flip them over.
They're mutants. Also, I don't think they can go into their shells. If you look at
They can't.
what their arms and like,
there's no way. They have human joints and everything.
not all turtles can go into their shells like that, although they were from box turtles, which are a kind that can. But if you if you look at them, I don't know why that one chick is so attracted to.
Yeah, hanging out
That's
in
weird.
their sewer home has to be pretty disgusting, actually.
I don't care what any of you guys say. We did, and I'm proud. We don't care that he's a mutant. That would be wrong of us. But he's a teenager. What's wrong with you?
That's-
I just kind of, after years of pizza for every meal, the cholesterol has to be incredible.
They're turtles. Of course it is.
We were talking about that. I don't think you were here for that. What we were talking about.
No.
Star Wars mutants. Must have missed that part.
I don't know. I was not for it, but the more we talk about it.
Well, if you break it down in that way of like, well, everyone's a mutant, then
No, I don't. I'm not
gonna.
gonna. I'm not going that way. I don't know. I'm a little torn.
It's not a mutation because it's not as simple. I don't think it's as simple as midi-chlorians either. Like it's not as simple. Like that's the thing.
No, but that's what we have based on the current lore to work off of. Yeah,
but also but relative strength in midi-chlorians didn't necessarily mean like you were actually strong in the Force. I mean, you had potential, but it didn't also mean that like you actually had to study and like.
Of course,
understand how to harness
like
it.
any muscle.
But you can't do that.
You know what?
You can't do that with cancer. I can't be like if I want to focus, I can either make it go away or make it grow. Like it's so at the very again, it's like
any muscle, you have to build it.
And I don't think it would be necessarily a mutation. Well, unless when we talk about mutation, like evolution stuff like that, and mutations are what leads to different like forms of life. I don't think that it necessarily is that, because I would say more that the Force is the thing that would be inspiring mutations, but is not itself like a mutation. It's
the Force itself exists in all things. So the Force is the universe. So
yeah. But, so life itself, like what came first, the chicken or the egg? But I don't think you could say that like. The ability to harness the Force is from a mutation or is passed down purely. It's because it's not purely genetically. It's not just that. It's not. So there's something else that goes with this that's beyond simple science or doctrine.
It's magic.
It's fantasy. It's magic. Yeah, it's partially magic.
That's all I need to hear.
Religion,
space magic.
God. Yeah.
I don't. All right, we'll talk about this for like an hour.
Well, I know for a fact that it is because it's based off a bunch of different things, like John Campbell and the understanding of it's everything. It's
you leave.
It's
stop it. Nope. No. We'll talk about Star Wars another night, man. I agree. All right.
With Star Wars, we can talk about
mutants. So we've got
What if you have like 2 heads?
Teenage.
There are people like that right now. Have you seen the girl with 2 heads? Like that's a mutation.
What?
Yeah.
Have you seen? There's a chick out there that she has like several Lifetime documentaries. Or I'm talking about like in actual human, like real life mutations.
Oh.
Now.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
It's rarely good. Then.
If one of your criteria is you have to be able to control it, you can't control a mutation like that.
Right.
So you can be a mutant and have no control over it.
Well, I said that's what made the Force different from a mutation. Partially is that it's outside and that's the thing about when we're on other things, but yeah.
Okay.
If we're just talking about real life human that's something else. That would probably just unless someone is psychic and then but you don't think that that's possible at all without utilizing technology in some fashion.
Nope.
Both of you. And I haven't seen a way proven of other than that yet, but
why is it? Hello?
Hello?
Hi. He muted our voices again because he doesn't know how to work his headphones.
Hello?
Hey, I figured it out.
You hit the mute button?
I thought it was my hotspot, or because I've been having internet issues. It wasn't. I sat on this.
Yes.
Wow.
Sat on the remote. Butt dial, as it were.
Yeah. All right. So we've got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We've got X-Men mutants. We've got everybody's a mutant. Nobody's a mutant.
Well, there's like the Incredible Hulk. I'd say any
Hulk
kind of
mutated
science experiment.
Mutation.
Now, would you say like Captain America?
No.
I say yes.
Well,
I think it's
it's a forced mutation.
If you are conceding that it is a man-made mutation, yes, I'll give you that.
As opposed to God. What is an acid spill that turns someone into a mutant? Other than
No, I mean just
God.
like it was a deliberate attempt.
Well, like the Incredible Hulk, except that was an accident, but this was an.
It was still considered, as deliberate as. So then, Watchmen with Dr. Manhattan, is that a mutation, or does he exist in a totally different plane?
But if something goes according to plan, is it?
I don't actually know the lore of Watchmen enough.
Well, the action or process of mutating. That's helpful.
That's
Okay.
Yeah. So now Google mutating, the action process of one.
Number 2
mutated.
was the changing structure of a gene resulting in a variant form that may be transmitted to subsequent generations caused by the alteration of a single base units in DNA or the deletion, insertion, or rearrangement of larger sections of genes or chromosomes. And number 3 was in linguistics, regular change of a sound when it occurs adjacent to another. It's weird.
Sean, Leah makes the funniest sounds.
Dogs were just barking as you came in.
Hello.
Hi, Leah.
What are you talking about? Mutants?
Yes.
Leah, what's your favorite mutant?
Sean, obviously.
Oh.
I like Mystique. Have we talked about Mystique? No.
A little bit. Not
Yeah.
a
Ooh, a little bit.
Payback is a bitch. Payback. Payback is a bitch. Payback. Payback is a bitch.
Gotcha. We're all mutants, though, so I don't really know what I just accused you of, other than being like,
nobody's a mutant.
We have to figure this out. Either everyone's a mutant or no one's a mutant, or some people are and some people aren't.
Everybody's a mutant.
It's yes. Yeah.
That's basically what we came down upon earlier on. We've been fighting against its inevitability this whole time.
Yeah.
It's true. It's more like embrace your mutations, Everyone
Very
has
true.
their own
Well, I've been
mutation.
doing that, but
You're doing well, Chris.
in
You're
the
doing
context of superheroes and such, we were talking more in that respect. But then when you get down to it, it's like, well, everyone's really. Is he a mutant? Well, yes, because his whole species had to have evolved, so there had to have been mutation. And then it's like people want to punch you in the face when you start talking like that.
The opposable
That's
thumbs.
true.
Yeah.
Also, he did that with his head too, like that whole head bob thing. Yeah, it really like drove the point home. You missed it.
Infuriatingly, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You are breaking my balls into oblivion.
You broke my balls first. I got a scrotum full of whipped cream.
Oh.
This is your favorite.
I like that one.
No. I mean, have you guys gone to New England today yet?
No.
It's in. I feel like it's probably time to search mutations on New England today.
Oh, can Andrew not hear again?
I'm back.
All right. Hi, Andrew.
As far as we know, you never left.
My internet keeps dropping.
Maybe we have to specify squirrel mutations. No, they love the squirrels.
What do they have to say in the comments about mutants? That's really the important
Here's a
question.
good question. What does New England today have about?
Just
The mutants of New England.
So Chris is really nailing it with that accent then.
That's not
I don't.
what Cyclops can do for you, but what you can do for Cyclops.
I don't think there's a good one for you.
I feel like In the Kitchen with the Woodstock Inn is about as close as we'll get. So, but teenage.
I could try a mutation.
I like teenage for like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
New England today.
New England today. Let's see what they have.
Mutation.
Mutination.
Oh, there's the free guide.
I swear to God, I went to school. You know, I work with 2 full-grown adults.
Aha!
What?
Wow.
That is literally just a collection of syllables.
Well, parakeet. That's
That's what all words are.
Parakeet, cobalt, mutation.
Well, syllables, yeah.
Yeah.
But he said synonyms at
I
first.
mean, it's just a
That's
picture.
it?
That's it. That is it.
It's just a picture of
Look at this freak. Look at the freak.
Garrett is the
Yep.
species named Gareth, or is it?
No, that one is named Gareth.
What's
And
the?
it has a cobalt mutation. It's
So
the color.
it's just the color.
Oh,
Or I don't know.
Cool.
Look at it. Look at this ugly ass mutant.
Angelino.
I'm sorry. Was that a manatee?
They're really trying to push that best free guy.
Well, every time you try to leave, basically, yeah. Shoe industry and why is that under mutation? Remembering these are. Oh, who was Dr. Seuss? Apparently a mutant.
Yeah. Look at all the books he created. They were filled with mutants.
That's true.
Yeah. There's one fish. There's that fish that is at the same time one. It's 2 fish.
This is what he thought people looked like.
His mutation was just really bad eyesight.
Or did you see the kangaroo in that little picture there? That's just what people in Australia look like, and we've never actually been there.
You think so? Would you
No,
guys agree with
I
that
don't.
statement? I don't think so at all.
I don't know. Dr. Seuss is so.
Mr. Rogers,
Prince,
Let me
the
snicker.
artist formerly known as Prince.
Kim Kardashian,
I
Yeah.
think that's just who she is, though. That's all I
No.
know. on the internet.
Meghan
No, her
Markle.
alter ego is. I'm pretty sure it's Kanye.
What's her name? They got divorced. They're getting divorced.
They're different people.
Okay, now I'm confused because I don't know. I only overheard something recently.
No, Kim Kardashian is a social media person, and Kanye is a rapist.
Let's talk about Captain America. I agree.
Ooh, yeah.
Genes were mutated. So what does that say about his kids? I want to get back to Dr. Seuss in a second, though, but I do want to talk a little bit more about Captain America.
Yes. I'll talk.
So what
about
about his kids? Do you think like
It's-
Captain America's kids?
There's
do they
no
have
way.
It's just it's genetic in the same way that
There's no way that procedure left him
able to have children.
Yeah,
he's sterile.
Sterile.
Yeah.
What out his testicles? That much growth? They're just
there's no way.
It was a one-shot deal. It could have been used on you, but Peggy, you let him have the procedure first.
Congratulations! Thank you for winning the war. And
it was really just
fascism in the face.
It was the 40s. Nobody's frozen his sperm beforehand. They didn't have the foresight for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
He's like, look at him. That guy's never gonna get laid.
Thank you for punching Hitler, but no kids for you.
Socked Hitler in the jaw. I need to advance his genetic material.
So I don't. Okay, but let's say then that he could have kids. There are X-Men who've had children that don't have mutation.
Sure.
Correct. So why would his genetic mutation pass on?
He's not an X-Man.
Okay, but why would this be dominant over whoever because he has kids with somebody?
Again, without going into the exact scientific breakdown of what made this happen, it can either be passed on or not. So if it can't be passed on, he can't. If it can, it can. But there's no like when you say things like, "Well, why would it be passed on?" It's like because he went through a genetic mutation, his cells genetically changed, and when his sperm.
I'm not asking how it would.
And then they have a child. Would his new DNA be half of that DNA?
It's the mom and the dad.
So that's the. If you don't know the answer,
technically, you could.
You're deliberately misunderstanding my question.
I don't think that I am.
I don't like it.
You could have like a son who has like huge muscle mass but isn't tall. He's just like 5'1" and like huge.
Recessive genes and things like that. Yeah, like what did he get from his father? What did he get from his mother? That's the question. After going through this, if he's capable of having children,
that's what I was saying. And then he went on this whole little tirade.
That's what I responded to you with. I said either he can have children or he can't. If he can, is his DNA changed? Would it be going or would it again? So that's the question: is if he can have children, is his sperm DNA changed so that he would be passing this on? That's the question.
I mean, I gotta say, it's
I just mutated. Heard sperm, but I got distracted. What?
And this is exactly the kind of thing that would be in Mallrats. They probably had to cut it for time.
But also, no, look, it didn't just change a little bit about it, but changed everything. So of course his sperm mutated with him.
So then you would be on the side of yes, his children would be.
Yes, they would have the potential to have.
I'm just leading you to your logical conclusion. And now that was on purpose. You're mad at now.
I'm thinking you would end up with like
son of a bitch.
Weird like certain things, but not everything.
Because it is like not just him. It's
right.
I would have to mix. I'm sure like it's like how Superboy is a clone made from half of Superman and half from Lex Luthor. So he has the ability to jump real high, but he can't necessarily fly. He can't use heat vision. He has super strength, but not the same as like Superman. And so there's different stuff. He's also a clone. But he was also a clone that was aged super fast, so he didn't really have a childhood. He was like,
oh god, that sounds awful.
It's insane. Yeah, and they tried to like implant memories in his head. So there's a mutant for you. And actually used mutations to like that was Cadmus, the Cadmus project in DC. DC Comics, they try and create weapons from like living things. So they're in the science of mutating things into weapons. Much like it's as close as you can get to like the stuff they were doing to Deadpool without being in Marvel Comics.
Wow, I should really read more DC comic stuff.
That stuff is also in like the first couple episodes of Young Justice, which is the superhero's sidekick.
You've been recommending that for years, and I have.
Young Justice is great. They brought it back because
sounds like a western.
Sounds like a western.
Sounds like a western.
Sounds like a rapper.
Young Justice.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
I mean, a terrible rapper.
Yeah.
But a rapper.
Young Just Ice, and
he's like somebody who does like Christian rap.
Decked out.
Yo, I'm Young Justice.
He raps the Beatitudes or something.
None of us should be rapping. This is a terrible idea.
No, this is really, really bad.
Not even to mock.
I'm here to get you justice. We're going to win that civil lawsuit.
We're not good enough at it. Learn from Dr. Seuss.
All right. Can we skip to the comments? I want to see. Okay. He lived his adult life quietly.
On a mountaintop.
Near the shore. Near the shore. There are mountains over there? Yeah. I'm not great with geography. I'm not.
Yes, there's a lot of them.
I thought the Alps, I thought the Appalachians and the
Just
Alps are the same thing.
You still don't know. You're getting confused right now.
No, because it's not, the Alps is not short for the Appalachians, as I thought as a 26-year-old adult man.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah. It's I call them adult blind spots. I have a lot.
Oh.
Okay, I work with 2 people who just found out that the NAACP is a thing. They're like grown-ass adults, and they never heard of it. So, like,
wait, what?
Yeah, they went to, and they were part of like the Maryland public school system. It's
crazy if they were black.
It failed them. They're nuts.
Yeah, that would have been really nuts.
Yeah, that would have been very, like, even more disappointing. Ooh, he was lured back in 1986. That's by always children. Good.
The children lured him back.
Okay, so you never hear about it going the other way.
Please bring us back, Dr. Seuss.
What about the Piper, the kid, the guy with the rats? He lured all the rats.
Was that a kid?
Well, no, he lured all the rats out of the city. He lured all the rats. He lured all the rats out of the city, and then when the townspeople wouldn't pay him, he lured all their children out of the city.
See, yeah, no, you hear that. I meant you don't hear about going the other way. You hear about adults luring children, but you don't hear about children luring adults places.
Oh, okay.
Ratman.
Unless they're looking for that sort of thing.
Jesus.
I was lured by your children. They were playing in the park. Well, that to me is... Sir, you're going to have to announce yourself anytime you move into a new neighborhood.
Hi, I'm the Pied Piper, and the state of Michigan honors me.
How many comments were on that other?
That one was more recent. This one was 2017.
Okay, this is back with 2 votes.
2 votes.
Yeah.
Give it 5 stars.
I don't think I can. They're gonna be like
no one started reading. No one started coming to this website until we did. We popularized it.
See what's going.
We're its first visitors.
That's still the most recent thing. Is that one that we looked at last week? So they're not.
I'm seeing a lot of food ones. Annie's Irish soda bread. I like that.
I've heard of soda. I've heard of bread.
Wait, there are 11
I know,
comments. Go to the comments. Go to the comments.
Don't shake up this bread.
Wow.
Well, here we go.
I made this different from the recipe you gave me, and I enjoyed it.
The bread is easy to make. I want to see like a guy just going on.
The plural of loaf is hold on. Loaf is loaves. Go up. That's it.
Wait, who was that? Reader T?
L. Reader L.
Oh.
As in
doing God's work.
Yellow.
Editor. All right, that's not interesting.
No, not at all. But also, what's interesting to me is it got 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Where's New England?
Where is New England? Is it near Old England?
It's just a hop skip from Old Zealand.
Close to we? We're
basically
South England. We're old.
Whew.
England.
Right.
New England and their enemy is Old Southsburg.
I'm gonna have to find a more exciting paper. New England. I think we've burned through their interesting.
Do we have
articles?
Do we have to find like a regional?
Yeah, we're gonna start looking for other regional papers. I want a zine from like New Mexico.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll look that up next week.
No, I think we go to I think we go right to the heart of the country. I think we go Iowa. I think we just find every really good thing in Iowa.
The birthplace of James Tiberius Kirk. I'm talking Iowa.
What did I miss?
That's true. You missed. We were talking about
lots of mutants in Iowa.
We're going to be talking about Iowa because we were looking for a new local newspaper. Because I think we burned through every last.
Yeah, you're right.
There was two, and
it's New England Today's hard-hitting journalism.
We've been mining this, just coming up with dirt. So I'll take a look around.
I think Idaho. Check out Idaho next.
Depending on what.
Idaho.
You realize New England isn't one state. I don't know why you guys keep saying like one state. I guess because New England
check out West England.
Up the space of like West.
Hooray! Regional Journal of the Midwest.
I consider Chicago to be West England. It's about as far west as you can go and still get like a New England vibe out of a town.
Really?
Have you ever been to Chicago?
Chris, when's the last time you went to Chicago?
When I was connecting back from France. Thank you very much.
That beautiful O'Hare Airport.
When you went to Canny's.
They make a mean steak sandwich.
This is true.
In France?
No, in Chicago.
Oh, I thought they were more famous for croissants in Chicago.
Well,
no, that's pizza.
I guess that's what you would think, never having been there, like a fool.
That's some kind of traveled asshole.
Traveling.
From when he went to Canny's.
He is a rambling man.
Not if I can help it. I mean, talking-wise, sure, but moving-wise, ugh. Work.
Oh. So we have to figure out what newspaper we're going to blow up next.
Great Scott.
I don't mean attack. No.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Andrew's going to end up with like 18 ATF.
I'm going to leave.
Andrew's going to be visited by 18 ATF agents tomorrow.
We heard you're going after Iowa.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like to tell us?
Sir, he's going for the Washington Post.
Like that, but with newspapers.
So which regional newspaper's popularity should we help blow up next?
Why would you want to destroy their popularity?
I hate both of you.
What about one of the Dakotas? What about South Dakota?
We could do without a Dakota. Whatever one doesn't have the faces on it. Yeah.
I guess I would be interested. We'll just go, every state gets a day. We'll just go around.
Yeah.
That seems fair because I got to be honest. When you said Dakota, either Dakota, my first thought was I couldn't care less about anything.
I know nothing about
That's very true.
I'm sure they've got to have at least one fact or fun thing.
No, like you don't need a newspaper. You just like send an email to the 20 other people in the state and say, this is what happened.
Dakotians. What's up?
Can we get an official
place where there are people?
Can we get an official comment? Let's just write to their like state tourism board and request like a package.
You mean Jeff?
Hey, everybody! People know we exist.
Hey,
back, baby.
Which one has the faces, or is that Montana? Does Montana have the president?
Montana's the face.
Okay.
The Dakotas? No. The
Idaho. Grand Canyon.
The Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
The Mount Rushmore.
Mount
Rushmore.
Yeah. It was a cover up, right? Nope, I'm thinking of National Treasure too. All right.
That's where isn't that where Richie Rich's parents were captured? Oh no, that's Mount Richmore.
Nah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah, it's in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Not Rushmore.
Yeah.
You said Montana's one of the faces.
Oh, I thought you meant the side of the state looks like a face, not like, oh, the faces they blew up into a mountain.
Hold on a second.
Look at the state of Montana. It looks like
that while I furiously Google
like a boot.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice anything strange about this map? You mean that it looks like a penis? No. What does your penis look like? Well, obviously a cluster of buildings. Thanks for pointing out the freak. community.
Oh,
Yes. But where's the face? It's just a solid line. Okay, left side, not the right.
That's a good one. I'm down for that.
Let's go international. We haven't been offensive enough to our own country.
Let's go upset some other that we can't read the language it's printed in. So you have to use Google Translate for it.
Well, I mean, honestly, though, if we do that and people are like, oh, these Americans are ignorant and offensive, we'll just be maintaining.
We'll just be ignorant and offensive.
Yeah, it's maintaining the status quo.
Exactly. That's expected about. Frankly, we're only like this because you expect us to be. Take that, society.
You know what? I bet if we start.
What about but what society made me?
I bet if we start with Kazakhstan today, sooner or later we're gonna get a letter from Uzbekistan Weekly.
We're sending you We're sending you Borat.
Gentlemen, please come film your next episode in our country.
Okay. And that's how they
go.
And that's how we got a vacation to Uzbekistan.
And that's how the United States changed their policy on negotiating to get citizens back. They now don't.
We thought about it, and
then we watched some of their stuff. Like,
I figured it was a net gain.
Better as a country. It's fine.
Somehow they did all right. Now they're the lead editors of Kazakhstan Today. So, you can't be hurting that bad.
A three-headed editor team.
Let's look at today's the
Cerberus of Kazakhstan.
All hail great leader. Dalton.
Yeah. Chris is his jester and everything, or whatever it was, and I didn't ever roll.
The jester, and Andrew gets left behind because he didn't ask. Andrew, would you like a place in my post-apocalyptic administration?
Yes, not if it's the GIMP. No, then.
How would you like to be head of the Department of Motor Vehicles under my new regime?
Not if it's the GIMP or head of DMV.
You'll be the GIMP skimp.
I feel like I'd hold far too much power in either of those positions, and it would corrupt me.
Department of Motor Vehicle, though, that's your job is basically head of torture.
Yeah,
I don't know. I went to the DMV and there was like blood on the floor, and they just had an orange cone next to it. Not like blocking it off. It was just next to the blood. No one was coming to clean it up. I was there for 2 hours.
So
this is our floor blood.
Look out! Don't track it everywhere.
Yeah, we're keeping our floor blood here today, folks.
At least they're like keeping you aware of it.
I do appreciate that. I want to slip in their floor blood and get in.
Then become a mutant. I heard that if you slip in the floor blood of a Glen Burnie DMV, you end up a mutant.
Did Andrew cut out?
I think his mutation's kicking in. I think he slipped in that floor blood.
He's in a coma.
He caught
the highest mutation.
He'll destroy us all.
My God, he's gained the superpower paralysis.
It's probably as good as time as any to call it a show. We've been going for over an hour. This is actually fun, though. Having him frozen like this, I guess we'd say whatever we want. Andrew, if you're a buffoon, stay completely motionless. Well, there you go.
There you go. That answers that.
Heard it here first. I don't even have any more good jokes. It's just I thought he was going to come back by now.
Now he's gone. Well, there you go.
That's the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. Come back next week for more nonsense.